Hello viewers, let's little practice with tenses. Tenses are philosophical. You understand, if you don't understand the philosophy of time, you cannot use the tenses. So let's little practice. So there are mainly three tenses everybody knows. If something happens now, that is present. If something has happened before, then that's past. And if something happens next, it's going to be future. And every tense has got into three parts, four parts. So present, indefinite, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So when I teach tenses, I divide into two parts. One part consists of continuous tenses, the other part consists of non-continuous tenses. Actually, non-continuous is not an English word. I have coined it just to make you understand this word I have used so that you can learn better, quicker, and more effective. So, I usually give some native sentences, Bangla sentences, and I tell students to divide into two groups. One sentence, suppose, Ami যাচ্ছি. So this is continuous. Ami যাই, it's not continuous. আমি যেতে থাকবো, it's future continuous. But I don't go about present, past, or future. Firstly, I go about whether the expression is in continuous tense or in non-continuous form. So, আমি যাচ্ছি, that's in continuous form. Uh, আমি যাচ্ছিলাম, that is past continuous, but you don't need to mention past. First, you have to divide whether this falls under continuous tense or non-continuous tense. And when you learn difference between continuous tense and non-continuous tense, you can easily make these sentences in speaking English, in writing English, in whatever way you want. So the main thing is that you have to first psychologically, philosophically be clear that this expression falls under continuous and non-continuous. So if you come to me, I'll show you, I'll make you practice it, but online you can learn little, and I hope you can learn much quicker, and it's going to be much more effective because I've been searching for many years. Actually, how I learned this technique is because long ago in our village I had a survey with kind of 200 boys and girls, and I found only one boy. He was a student of class 9. He had the proper conception of tense system, but all others, 199, little bit like that, boys and girls couldn't have the proper conception on tenses. So I thought tense is not so easy for students, so I must find out some techniques so that students learn it quicker, more effectively. So I researched and researched, and I found that teachers usually teach from one tense to another gradually. What happens is that if you learn 12 tenses, when you come across passages, sentences, you make a mess with them. You can't figure out which tense this sentence belongs to. So in this way, the way I'm going to teach you is this. You have to first understand these sentences are under continuous tenses and these other sentences fall under non-continuous tenses. When the conception is clear, then I tell students to write whether it is present, past, or future. When they find out properly, then I go to the third step. I tell them to find out which continuous tense goes for some period of time, maybe since morning for 2 days, for 2 hours, from January, like that. When they find that this sentence has uh, some kind of duration, time duration, then they should write perfect. So first they will write continuous. If the sentence is incontinuous, then they will write nothing, just they will write continuous. And when next step comes, they will find out whether it is present continuous, past continuous or future continuous. So they will find out whether past, present or future. And then after that they will find out whether the continuous tense has a mention of time duration, time period, like from 2 hour for 2 hours, from January, since morning, since afternoon, like that. This is how they can easily solve problems with continuous tenses. When they have come over six tenses. So there are six more left, and I have also divided into groups. Suppose past indefinite tense, আমি গেলাম, সে আসলো, গতকাল সে গেছে, something like that. Uh, they have to find out whether the conception is 100% past or not. Suppose uh, painting has finished but it hasn't dried. So you step in and your mother tells you not to. You don't understand. Your mother says, "Oh, don't step in, the painting hasn't finished." But you see, "Oh, mother, the painting finished because I have seen everything is fine." But the thing is that if you step in, there'll be problem. The painting isn't dried. So painting has finished, but it hasn't dried. Then what you understand is that it's not 100% okay. So this falls under present perfect tense. Suppose you um, have breakfast. Suppose this is afternoon. So your mother asks you, "Did you have breakfast?" If it is in the morning, then she will ask you, "Have you had breakfast?" Because even when you haven't had breakfast, you have still time to have breakfast. And as it is afternoon, you cannot have breakfast anymore. That's why you have to ask like this: "Have you taken breakfast?" if it is before 12 o'clock. And if it is after 12 o'clock, then you say, "Did you have breakfast?" Something like, "Did you do yesterday?" You cannot say, have you done yesterday?" No. When you have the time mentioned, then usually we make it in past indefinite tense. And what about past perfect tense? There is no use of past perfect tense. In very rare cases, past perfect tense is used. Suppose long ago something bad happened. Suppose the wife talks about the love affairs of her husband, or he talks about her love affairs in the past. And the girl says, "Oh, that was long ago. I was a little child. I don't remember much. It was just a little fantasy. So I had been in love. I had fallen in love. It's nothing. That was long ago." Suppose your grandfather died 100 years ago. Somebody asks with enthusiasm, with encouragement, with passion, and you say, "Oh, my grandfather had died long ago." So it's a kind of past, so past. It doesn't have anything right now. It's not important. It is valueless. In another case, past perfect tense is used. Suppose in changing narrations, he said, "I went to Rajshahi." So he said he had gone to Rajshahi. So in this kind of place it's used. And the most important place that uh, uh, past perfect tense fits in is when the problem arises. A glass had already been broken, but when your mother came, he charged you, "Hey, you broke the glasses." But you said, "No, mother, I came after the glasses had been broken." So what happened? If you came before, then you will be in trouble. If you come later, then you will not be in trouble. So you have to make sure that the glass had been broken before. Later you came home. So you were not responsible before the breaking of the glasses, right? Similarly, doctor came after the patient had died. So the doctor has nothing to do because the doctor already found him dead. He did not have any treatment. He did not inject. He did not have him paid medicine, whatever. Nothing. Because the man already died. So he says, no, I came after the patient had died. The patient had died before I came. So the patient had died before I came. I came after the patient had died. So in that sense, the past perfect tense is used. Okay, that's it. I'll go about the rest of the tenses next time. Bye.